Hello, and welcome to Wendy Casper's channel. I am Wendy, your host for today's episode of Cricket and Budgeting. Now, if you are new to this channel and you have not seen my previous videos, I have been showing everyone who watches how to use Cricut Design Space to create savings challenges. And the first one we did was the letterbucks to save them dollar bills. Then I went on to show how to make horizontal and vertical savings challenges. Well, Cricut has pens that you can use in your machines. And we also showed how to make horizontal and vertical using just ink pens. Oh, I also showed how to create full-size savings challenges. This is doggy prints. And this one is just raindrops with different dollar amounts in. I also went and kind of described what all these little icons are on the left side of your Cricut Design Space panel. And then just last week, I showed how I created this scratch off using a picture from my granddaughter that my granddaughter took. Well, today, let's see if we can do a full-size scratch off. Maybe even cut it out in a design. Let's get started. And before that, though, thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I think I'm only 3 people away from that 250 mark. And thank you to everybody who watches my channel. Let's get started and see what we can do for a full-size one. Well, first, we know on the left, we need an image. So we're going to just click on it. And I am going to go into this first column under Image Sets and click on that. And this is where every Cricut cartridge, they've been created. They are now digital. And look, we got Groot. But I haven't paid for him, and it's not Cricut Access, so I cannot use that one. There's a certain one that I am looking for. So I'm just going to type it in here. Yep, you'll be surprised. Oops. I'm searching for Winnie the Pooh. That's what we're going to create. And this is one that I have purchased. So we're going to click on that. And then it'll pop up all 192 of those images that are in this cartridge. Well, they're supposed to pop up. Oh, there they go. Not sure what a turtle has to do with Winnie the Pooh, but it might be something in there. But I want a Pooh Bear, but not that one. And not just his face. Maybe we can search even, get there narrowed down to here and search. They're not popping up very fast. There's Eeyore. There's Piglet. Well, let's see. Can we search just for Pooh? It won't let me click in here, so probably not. Oh, some more popped up though. There's Pooh Bear sleeping, but that still isn't the one I want. Yeah, must be getting closer. Nope. I want him standing, but he's looking that way in the one that I'm looking for. I would think if I typed in Pooh, that only him would come up. And there it is. This is the one I'm looking for. I know we click on it. Yep, there's that green square. Then it shows down on our bottom panel here that that's the one we're choosing. Then we go over to Add to Canvas. And it'll bring us right back to our canvas with Pooh Bear. And he's a little small right now to make into a scratch off. So we're going to make him bigger. Now I know that the height and width is 9 1/4 by 6 3/4, so each way. So we're going to try across the top in the size for height. We're going to type in 9.25 and hit enter, which is 9 1/4. Now, this is the tallest he can print. So we know that this is going to be the size. Let me click out a little bit. This down here on the bottom left, this is where you can zoom in and zoom out. There, now you can see the whole of him. Well, how are we going to get scratch offs on him? Well, we're going to come right back to our shapes on the left. And let's grab, we're still going to grab, well, how about a starburst? Now, these ones you can only use is if you have Cricut Design Space. So I'm just going to grab this one that's got the more pointier on. Now, I know that my scratch offs are all 1 inch. So we're going to make this, across the top to the size. I'm going to put in 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch. Now, it looks awfully small. That's because down here, we have it zoomed down size, so we can put it back to our 100%. Just Pooh Bear, we won't be able to see that much. And we definitely don't want gray. We want to be able to put numbers in there. So across the top, operations, we got basic cut. And right next to that is that solid square. And I'm going to turn mine to this lightest color blue, because I know my numbers will still show up on that light color blue. And we just need to figure out, well, how many of these do we want on Pooh? How much do we want to save? Let's do like, how about, well, let's figure that out on our way. So we know if we want more of those starburst, across the top, way over to the right, this double set of squares with the plus, we're just going to duplicate it for however many of these you want. And we're going to start out with, we got 6. Let's start out with 6 for now. Let's figure out which denominations we want to use. Well, we know for our numbers, we come back to the left and we click on our text, click inside on to the right of the T and backspace out. Now let's decide, well, I don't want no 1s in this one, so we're going to use 5 for one of our numbers. And I don't want them that gray color. So I'm going to go back up to operations, next to basic cut, the solid square, click on it, and it brings up our colors panel. And let's choose the red Then they'll match Pooh Bear's shirt. And we already know that that 5 is too large from our previous video. And there's 2 ways to shrink it. Grabbing this bottom corner and sliding in, or up to our size panel and typing in a number that is smaller than our circle. Let's put in 0.5 and hit enter. And yep, it's still too big. Or we also know these 2 little triangles, one's up, one's down. We can click on the bottom one. That brings our number size down. And we kind of just slide it over on there, click somewhere's off. It fits in there. Well, for me, looks pretty good. Then we know we just highlight it across the top for a line. Click the little triangle down to center. It centers our 5 in there. Then we group it. That way we can move both of these at the same time. And we'll put that one right there on his leg because it seems to fit there. Then we need to grab another text box from the left. Right to the T, click in there, backspace out. And we're going to do 10. And then back up to the top on the left, next to basic cut, that solid square. We're going to choose the red again. Now before we go any further, so we don't have to keep grabbing a text box, we're going to duplicate that 10. So we're going to go to the second set of squares with the plus sign and duplicate it. Now we have 10. And then we'll shrink this 10 down and put it over our blue circle, which is definitely too big. Let's shrink that down a little bit. And then let's center it. Align, click the little arrow, and center. That looks pretty good. So let's highlight that. And then the first double squares, click on it to group. We're going to put that down in his other leg. Well, so far we're saving $15. We're going to take and highlight our 10, come back up, duplicate it, and let's do another 10. And yep, we know we need to shrink it down. I believe the last one was 0.5. And you can leave it right there and highlight them, the align on the top, and center. And then back over to the first set of double squares and hit group. And let's put this one up by his ear. Then we'll click back on our 10 again. Well, we might as well duplicate it 3 more times. We know we got 3 more circles. Guess one needed 2, but we'll use them again. We'll use it anyways. Bring up a 10, grab a circle. Well, what number do we want this one to be? Well, let's change this one back to 5. So we'll just double click on it so it turns the color gray, then click to the right of the 0, backspace, and hit 5. And shrink it down. And I believe this one had to be like a 3 to fit in here. Just go a little bit more. And then highlight them Yep, back to align and hit center, over to the right to group. And let's put this one right by, well, we don't want it on his mouth. Let's put it on his neck here. Now we got $30 we just saved. Well, let's do a couple more. We'll leave this one at, oh, maybe let's do this one at 20. Get one of them high numbers in there. Same thing, double click, turns gray. Click to the right of the 0. Backspace, I guess you wouldn't have. You could have clicked in between them. Let's do a 20. I click off so it gets them square boxes around. That way you can shrink them. And let's grab it, and yep, it is way too big yet. So we click on it, and I'll just come up to my numbers here and click on the first. And highlight it. Click on a line, center it. This time, I'm going to show you what happens if you miss the step of grouping it. When you go to grab it, look what happens. You just grab one, not both. That's why it's so important to group. Just highlight it again, back to align, hit center, back over to the right, and group it. Now when you go to move it, there, everything goes together. Well, we have 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. Well, we can fit a couple more on his belly. So let's duplicate, double square with the plus in it. At 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We'll use both these 10s and we'll make it a $70 savings challenge. And we already know that our 10 is way too big. And I just come up to the size and we'll just shrink it down. And just highlight, back to align, center, and back to group, which is the first set of double squares. That way they'll move together. And we'll put this one in between these two over here. And then we'll come back. You know, an easier way of doing this, if we know we want another 10, click on it. Yep, we can just come up to this double set of squares and click on it, and it duplicated our 10. And there you go. We've got 30, 50, 60, we got a $70 one. Let's make it 75. That's more of a rounder number. We're just going to click on our 5. Yep, duplicate it, center set of double squares with the plus. And we can put that one right in here. We'll just move our 10 over some. And this, we'll just highlight it. Easy way to get rid of it. Got the trash can. Just click on it. And there we go. Well, now what do? We have Pooh. We have all of our circles on there. Let's move this one. I think it looks better over there. Let's get that kind of off his ear some. There. Well, next step is to highlight the Pooh Bear with all of his circles. Yep, bottom, and hit flatten. Now that turns him into a print and cut. It should cut right around this black here. And it might cut out this center here and then cut this black. Let's see. Maker. Mine is off to the left here. Turned on. Ready to go. Click Make It. And it's sorting our project. There it is. And then bottom right, continue, because we don't want to do anything else. We want to send to the printer. Now everybody's going to know what numbers are behind here. But I'm still going to put the scratch offs on there. And it's preparing our print. Make sure you got the correct printer in here. I have two printers here. One's for sublimation and one is my regular. And this is my regular one. We want the bleed off because we don't want our picture distorted. Then we click print. I'll bring that picture over to here and you'll see what it looks like before we cut Pooh Bear out. And now it's preparing it to send it to my printer. Seems to be kind of slow today for some reason. Oh, there it goes. Now I'm using heavy cardstock, so I'm going to click on that. My pressure, I'm going to put on more, only because I know that my blade is getting a little dull. So if I put more pressure, it'll cut it out. Once it won't cut at all on more pressure, then I know it's time to change my blade. And it's printing. I'll go and grab it real quick. And this is what it looks like all printed. Yes, I have something on the other side because I was using a piece of cardstock that I had previously used. Oh, you know, I wonder how my scratch offs are going to look on there. I didn't take that into consideration, but we'll see. We'll place it on the mat. Get it all on there. My mat is getting to the point it's not very sticky anymore. So you know what I do? I just take a couple pieces of tape that paper down. I've got to get my mats cleaned. Or just grab a new one because I do have it. But there you go. On the mat. I am going to take and turn you guys so you can see the Cricut machine. I'll try not to get you dizzy while doing it. Just going to turn you a little bit. Close your eyes so you don't get dizzy. And there's the machine. Yep, and these are what I was showing you. Now on the machine, you guys can't see it right now. Let's see if I can flip it up so you can. Flashing arrow means you may load your project, which we can do. You just push that flashing arrow. Then the flashing C, you just push that. The first thing it's going to do is scan my picture before cutting it. Them black little L-shaped bracket things, that's what it's scanning, so it's telling Cricut where it needs to cut. And I'll grab some scratch offs while that's cutting and see how they'll work on there. And then it's going to go to cutting it. Yep, and I was right. It cut that center out. Now these scratch off, this one that I created here, these stickers, this is what my sister sent me in a Happy Meal that I didn't know. We're going to use the gold stickers on Pooh Bear. Oh, now it's showing right here, flashing arrow. I can take this off. I always flip my project over and take it off. That's so that it doesn't curl up. Now let's see if a sticker will work on here. So I forgot to take that into consideration. Oh, we got silver and gold in this one. That must be what's in this one too. Nope, that one's all silver. I'm going to bring you back to the screen. Hopefully I won't get you guys dizzy doing that. I'm just going to move you kind of slowly back to the screen. Because down here in this corner, it says done. Just click on that and it brings you right back to your project. Here's our scratch off. We're going to take one, peel it off. Thank you, Sister Lill. Well, maybe that'll work. Let's cover them. Let's see if I can do it up here where you guys can see. There's one. Oh, he's going to stay up there. Oh, and then he fall down. And this is how I did this here one. I sent it to the printer, printed it off, sent it through the Cricut machine. It cut around the picture, and then I covered the numbers with the scratch offs. Let's see if we can get the rest of these done. I kind of got 3 on my finger at once. Get these covered. Probably could have put more on him. He's a chubby little bear. Make sure I get it on the number. Whoops, that one's a little off. And there's your scratch off. And saving yourself $75. Well, wouldn't be you if you decided that you're going to create this and send it to somebody else. And we could have put one probably here on his arm. Probably more in here. Depends on how much. Or instead of cutting him out, you could have just left him on here and not cut him out at all. I think this is kind of cute though. Well, that's for today's episode. We created a small one. We created using an image I uploaded. Created one from an image that is in Cricut Design Space. Let's see what we do next week for another episode of Cricut and Budgeting. But I'll see you all on Friday with some interesting items. Bye!